You little tricky self.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? I know it's late. Please forgive us. But this information that we wanted to share or talk about is something that is needed to be said. So, um, please forgive us if we didn't post because we didn't post our video yesterday. Things got a little hectic. We got a lot of stuff going on, and it's actually not a bad thing. It's really a good thing.
It's a good
A
thing
lot of
because
good stuff going on.
everything is just rolling because now is harvest season, right? So, hi, Tajo. So, harvesting season. So, in the summer, April, May, whatever, you plant your crops, and so to speak, as farmers, spiritual workers, whatever you're doing a lot of planting.
Hmm.
So now October, November is harvesting season.
Yep.
So now everything is like a domino effect.
Yep.
So we just have a lot going on.
Yep. 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 And for those of you all who are tuning in for the first time, we want to say thank you. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your alerts bell down below
Turn it on,
because
guys.
you never know, we may just pop up live because whenever the spirit hits us and we're in the flow, we just gonna jump on and give it to y'all raw and
Just
uncut.
giving it.
Oh boy. And so today, from the title of this live, you saw that it's about transcending negativity. And this is something that's actually a continuance off of the video that we did recently about removing blockages. And if you all haven't seen that, I actually put a little notification up on the right, or it should be over on that side, where you can actually click and watch that video about how to remove blockages. Because when you remove those blockages, it allows you to really get into the flow and help move your life in the right direction that you want to go in.
Yep.
So, um, and one of the reasons why it's so important to recognize those patterns is that so you won't feel like you're stuck. So many people are stuck in what they're doing. What's going on, Ryan?
Hey, hi, Ryan.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
so happy to see you on here.
Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, like we don't want to see you all get into a mode where you feel like you're stuck. You don't know which way to go. And a lot of times when people are stuck, they're in a pattern or a cycle and they don't even know it. And the only way to end a pattern or end a cycle is first figuring out where it began.
hmm And even before figuring out where it began, most importantly, is for you to recognize that it's a pattern.
Hmm.
And that's where a lot of people get stuck is when they're not actually seeing the pattern.
Hmm.
Because once you see the pattern, then you can start going back and trying to see how to get unstuck, so to speak.
Hmm. Now, here's the thing, because there are some people who have gone through what we consider shadow work as far as recognizing the patterns that are leading you to the life that you don't want to live. But then when they figure it out and they see the pattern, they still don't make a change in it. And so this kind of struck a nerve for us. And we've been trying to figure out um, the best way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, in layman's terms, what we are trying to say is that if you're in a situation that is not serving you, you're in an abusive relationship, whether that be physical or mental, you're working at a job that you dread waking up every morning to go to.
Yes, and you're hoping that when you get there, the building is not still standing. We don't want you guys to be in that kind of a situation. So we want to teach you how to transcend and how to grow and how to expand.
Yes.
Because right now, the veil is thinner than it has ever been.
Sure. Go ahead, Jen.
The veil is so thin. Like you can pretty much manifest just about anything as long as you're matching that vibration or that frequency. You can pretty much snip your fingers and say what you want or what you need. As long as it aligns with your life path, it's gonna happen. And sometimes you don't even have to if you really know how to do what you do, if you're that true alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you guys to be living your best and healthiest, most fulfilling life.
Yes.
Now when we're talking about transcendent energy, it's the situations that are not serving you. I mean, you could say negative and positive, but that's so mundane, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
all know that duality, when you get to higher dimensions, duality really is one and two in the same coins. It's just head and tail of the same coin,
Right.
negative and positive. Like a lot of people like to say, oh, negativity, 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 negativity. Stay away, negativity, stay away. Leave me
What's up,
alone,
honeydew?
negativity. But when you are that true alchemist, hi, honeydew, when you are that true alchemist, you are going to learn how to use those negative situations to serve your greatest good and how
Mm-hmm.
to allow those situations to let you grow and transform.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you're going through, I call it cocoon phases.
Oh yeah.
And on the spiritual path, you're going to have quite a few cocoon phases.
Yeah, it's not just one. Yeah,
Those
and
times when you feel stuck, like think about it. When you're in a cocoon, you can't move. The it's they're like this. The butterflies like this in the cocoon. They can't go anywhere.
oh
So
boy.
when you're at a point in your life where you feel like I can't move, I can't do this, I can't go here. They took my car. I ain't got no house. I'm living by this person. What the hell is going on? Why me? I did this last year. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're leveling up. And sometimes the universe will hit you with some kind of situations where you really don't understand. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm an alchemist in the streets, man. But that's just so you could,
Oh boy.
practice your craft, get
Mm-hmm.
stronger, get better. Because if you keep experiencing a certain situation, that probably just means that it's a lesson in there that you're not getting. Because once you get
Right.
that lesson, then you can move on, you can level up. You don't have to keep experiencing that same situation. So learn to take those situations, people, person, entity, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
and transcend it. And when I say transcend, you look at it at a different perspective. You find a different perspective, and then when you can look to see the benefit in something, you
Mm-hmm.
change your perspective. When you change your perspective, you change your vibration. When you change your vibration, you change your frequency,
Yes.
and then you can start moving bricks.
Yeah. So
Now
true.
you're cooking with gas.
Yeah. Now you cooking.
You
You cooking for
you
real.
cooking for real.
And, you know, as you say that, it kind of reminds me of a story I said a couple of videos back. I can't remember which video it was. If y'all are, if y'all have been rocking with us for a while, when I say this, it probably will what's the spark your memory as well.
Ring a bell.
Yeah, but just an example of what Leisha is talking about. Say, for example, you were riding down in your neighborhood, and all of a sudden this garbage truck just came out of nowhere and like hit you from the side, right? Now, in most situations, you would be upset. Your car is totaled, you can't
Right.
go anywhere, and you're like totally upset.
You late. You already late for work, and you on your
Mm.
last warning. Now they're gonna fire you. That's it. You done.
Now, when we talk about transcend, let's take a look at this.
Right.
Okay, so your car is down, all this stuff, right?
Thanks, Ryan.
Here's another way to shift your reality. Because
Mm.
right now, in this day and time, like Leisha said, the veil is thin as silk.
You could literally jump timelines like
Right.
quantum leap, guys. You could jump timelines right now.
Yes.
That's how thin it is.
So, when this situation happens, what's going on, Marshawn? When this situation happens, instead of looking at um, the negative side of what's going on or looking at the coin, because once again
Right.
it's just one coin. There's one side and
Right.
another side, but it's still
Exactly.
the same thing. But if you look at the other side of the coin on this situation, you had a vehicle total your car.
What?
And these commercial vehicles are bonded. So
What?
when you actually go and sue them because of the driver's negligence, you about to get paid. I
What?
mean, you probably got like millions coming your way, and you worried about this car that just got totaled. You could go and buy yourself a Bentley if you wanted
Look
to.
at the universe. You see what I'm saying? Look at the universe. You gotta
Yeah.
look at the different side of things and
Mm-hmm.
learn how to change your perception
Mm-hmm.
to a way that's gonna serve your growth. Either there is a lesson in something that you need to learn, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a learning lessons within situations when dealing with individuals is a trick to forgiveness too.
Mm.
Instead of looking at life as, look what life is doing to me. Oh my God, he left me, he cheated. Oh, he got the baby mamas, whatever it is.
Got the baby
Got
bubbles.
the baby mama, whatever.
Oh boy.
Instead of looking at life like life is happening to you, life is not happening to you, life is happening for you.
Yes.
It's helping you to grow. It's helping you to take you out of that situation that you've been stuck in for 10, 20 years. And it's pushing you out because right now, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia has ascended to 5D.
Mm-hmm.
So now, the ones who didn't want to ascend, Mother Earth is making you ascend.
Yes.
Y'all
She
ever seen that
is.
meme where this guy is sitting on the edge of the cliff and reality came, what is it, reality? And kicked
Oh
him in the
no, it
back
was oh I forgot what it is.
and give it
No, it
one
was
kick.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it
life.
was a
Yeah.
wake up call, and life just went and just kicked him like a soccer ball.
Yep. Life
Yeah,
life will force you to grow whether you want to or not.
yeah,
And here's the thing. If you fight life in growing, it is going to be excruciating.
very painful. That don't just go with the flow. If you
Mm-hmm.
know you have work to do, if you if you know you have things undecided in your closet that you have not dealt with yet,
Mm-hmm.
just deal with it. It's
Yes.
life is gonna go a lot easier for you. Then you'll be able to transcend that energy and move on and ascend. Life will be a lot better. Don't fight it.
Mm-mm.
Just
Do
go
not
ahead
fight it.
and just let your throat chakra clear. Say what you have to say, but you can always say it nicely.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that you need to leave this job, go ahead and leave the job. If you're going to a job every day and every day you're feeling literally sick, just don't go. Find,
Don't
be
go.
the alchemist and find something else that's going to serve you
Yes.
because you're making yourself sick. Keep going to that job.
Right. Right.
And if you can't find a way to transcend those energies around you, then it's time to move on and level up.
Yes. And now there's one other thing, and this just came to mind. I'm not exactly sure if what you said that triggered it or um, when tonight before we put the kids in the bed, right? One of our sons was talking about how his body was hurting,
Mm,
and when I look at the whole situation, there's nothing that's really affecting him
mm.
physically. He was pretty much upset because he didn't want to go to bed, right? And he caused himself to be so upset
Hmm.
to the point that his body started responding to his stress.
That's that adrenaline.
Right. And it was funny because once I told him that um, what you're experiencing, your mama can't stop it, I can't stop it, your brothers and sisters can't stop it, only you can stop it.
Not even Caesar Borgia.
Oh Jesus.
He can't stop it neither.
And it's funny because once I said that to him, it's like a light bulb went off in his head.
Hmm.
The same light bulb I would like to see so many adults get.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the situations that we're going through, or that a lot of situations that people go through on a day-to-day basis, is not because of external forces. It's not because the moon is pulling at you. It's not because Jerome got two baby mamas and y'all can't be together. It's because of things that are going on inside of you internally that
Hmm.
is causing blockages, that is causing pain, that
Yes.
is causing you to not become the greatest version of yourself.
Right. And if you guys ever seen the movie Lucy,
Mm,
when she had yes, Ryan, find your spark. Yes. in the movie Lucy, when she had actually got to what was she, 50%?
Yeah,
She was able to
somewhere
use
around 50 cent.
50%. She went back to the guy that did put her through this whole thing, and she stabbed him in his hand with a knife.
Oh
And
boy.
then she started talking to him. She was like, "Look at you. You are feeling so much pain at this point. You cannot focus on anything else." And she kept looking at him left to right, left to right.
Hmm.
And she's like that. Sometimes they let the pain block them from hearing anything, from seeing anything, because the only thing that's in
Yes.
front of them right now that they're experiencing is the pain. So everything else
Hmm.
shuts down.
Hmm.
And that happens with us sometimes in life. The pain or the trauma or whatever we're going through, it we allow it to prevent us from transcending
Yes.
or from
So
having
true.
a different experience. We allow that pain to block us from seeing what's really in front of us.
Hmm.
So that was something deep that Lucy's told that man. Even though
Yeah.
she stabbed him, she didn't have no right stabbing that poor man.
I mean, he put drugs in
Yeah,
there and told her
he
to.
did some stuff,
I mean, he
but
messed
she
up.
stabbed him in his head. Like that was
Yeah.
kind of rough, though.
Yeah, if y'all haven't seen Lucy, please watch it.
Yeah,
But what she said, like Alicia's talking about, is so key
yeah,
because there's so many things that we are destined to do,
right. Or B.
or yeah, or be, and because of a situation that happened, because things didn't go your way,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just stuck on things not going your way,
Yeah.
not realizing that sometimes when things don't go your way, they're actually a blessing in disguise.
Yes, it's a blessing
Hmm.
because Medea talked about this in her movie too. What was the movie? What she was saying?
I don't
Some
know. It's one
people,
of her
she
plays.
was like, some people come into your life and you have to know the difference between who are the roots, who are the branches, and who are the leaves.
Yes. Yes.
She said that the leaves just blow by the side. The wind go here, they go there. The wind go
Hmm.
there, they go there.
Right.
And she talked about the people that have branches. I had a few branches in my life.
Few.
She's like, you got to be careful with them branches because they'll trick you. You try to go step up on that branch, you test it. You're like, okay, this sturdy. You put your whole weight on it, it break on you, and you high and dry.
Hmm.
And then she talked about the roots, the people that in your life who are the roots,
Who don't care about being seen.
all heard,
They just there to support you
right,
and help you become your
right,
greatest version. Because
yep.
when you think about it, the roots of the tree,
They got like
man,
5 roots or something to this big
yeah.
big tree, like four or
Oh
five
yeah,
roots.
you don't have that many
You
roots.
really don't.
When you look at trees, cause okay, actually, let me break that back, cause when you look at some older trees, they got like a crap load of roots down below.
Right.
But look at this. When you look at a tree, compared to how many leaves and branches they have more leaves and branches than they actually have roots,
Exactly.
which is a correlation that you should make within your own life.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are some core people that you have in your life,
Right.
and you should be able to almost count all of those core people on one hand, maybe
See?
two.
Look at your hand. It
Yeah.
doesn't it look like a tree? You see the branches? You see
Hmm.
that this you could if you got 5 good people in your life, sometimes you don't even need 5. Let's just
No.
stick with 2 because a lot of us only got
Oh
2.
yeah.
You have a lot
Yes.
because those 2 people, they're not going to go nowhere and they're going to help you transcend.
And when you think about it, just going into sacred geometry, when you think
Ooh.
of a triangle, right? A triangle only has three sides.
Mm.
It has three roots.
Mm.
And the triangle is one of the strongest forms that are out here as far as when it comes to mankind, because you can put massive weight on either one of the corners and it will not fall.
You better say this.
Okay? So when you have yourself and you have two other strong people that are like your roots,
Right.
that are like your cement blocks, they're not going anywhere.
Anywhere.
So if you have those two people with you, y'all three together,
Trinity.
and if you know about Tesla, which I'm pretty sure Ryan does,
3, 6, and 9.
3, 6, and 9 are the key to the universe.
Yes. Hold on to them people. Let them help you transcend your
Yeah.
situations. They'll help you.
Hmm.
And even if they can't, maybe they transcend in your own. Do your own work. And I think what I'm noticing in the spiritual community, for the ones that are just now waking up, they still got the stuff in their eye. They really don't really know what's going on. They still
No.
like when you just get up, you like, oh, you stretching. For those
Hmm.
ones who are just now beginning to see what's really going on, to see through the illusion,
Mm-hmm.
um, it will benefit you to do your own work.
Yes.
And when I say do your own work, it means clearing your trauma, going within, healing yourself,
Yes.
building resistance, building resilience within yourself. And I think what's missing is the connection between you and you,
Mm. I and I.
I and I, the
Mm-hmm.
I. I'm not talking about this avatar.
No.
I'm talking about you, your essence. I think that's what's missing in this in the spiritual community.
Yes.
I'm not saying everybody, but from
No.
what I've been seeing, because a lot of people are asking questions like, "Who is my twin flame? Who is my soulmate? When will I meet my soulmate? When
Mm.
will I meet my twin flame? Can you help me manifest my food stamps? Can you help me manifest my baby daddy?" These kind of questions. Like,
Oh boy.
these are serious questions,
Yeah.
and so everything that, and I keep saying this, but everything that you need is already inside of you. And
Yes.
I think when we take that time to really connect with ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't need to ask anybody any questions. I
No.
mean, sometimes, yeah, you do need a little guidance. You might already know the answer, but you just need a little confirmation.
Yes.
And that's okay, because that's what everybody's here to help each other. Even Superman, let me say like Kanye West, even Superman and stuff got the invisible plane. But
Oh
I mean,
boy.
we all
Love
here
Kanye
to
West.
support each other. But
Yes.
when it comes down to you knowing you, that's your work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do the work. You have to find out who's your twin flame. You have to find
Yes.
out what's your purpose here. You have to find out what's your mission here. This is
Mm-hmm.
why you're awakening, because
Yes.
it's time for you to get back to you, to
Mm-hmm.
and ultimate who we are, our essence of who we really are is unconditional love.
Yes.
We only here having a human experience to see what it's like to feel, not so smart.
Yeah.
I guess we were too bright and we wanted to see what it's like to not be so bright. But
Right.
then eventually you come back to where you came from. You evolve back to where you came from. It is a
Right.
process.
Right.
But to get through your awakening, you have to connect with yourself.
Yes.
And
Eh,
you have to meditate. You have to clear karma. Might have to have a few karmic relationships. But you have to
mm-hmm.
learn from those relationships and not keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
when you look
Marshawn.
like you stuck in the second grade and everybody else at the ninth grade,
Yeah.
you know?
And that is so important. And wow, I just lost my train of thought because we just going on the flow with this, y'all. We live, but one of the things that and this is something that I mentioned to someone else because Alicia and I, in these past 2 days, have been doing a lot of counseling with people, whether it's over the phone or if it's over text message or if it's over social media.
Doesn't matter.
Now, and for those who are just waking up, this is a very important time in your life. You're like going back into the infant stage.
Hmm.
And I say this because, when a baby is born, you can only feed them baby food, right? And you have to be very careful in the environments that you put them in because babies are sponges. Children are
Yes.
sponges. They take in everything that they see
Hmm.
within their realm or their reality.
Yep.
Now, keeping that in mind, when you're waking up, you're like a brand new baby smacking, coming in the world,
Right.
right? So when you're just waking up, it is very important to minimize the contacts that you have
Ooh, speak on it.
because with television,
Hmm.
putting out programs telling you what reality is,
Mm.
telling you who you are.
Mm.
And there's so much things going on and people talking about twin flames and things of this nature.
Hmm.
But when it really comes down to it, just like what Alicia was talking about, in order for you to know the truth, you
Yes.
have to go within.
And that's your truth.
Hmm.
Because I can have my truth, you can have your truth, John can have his truth. You have to learn your truth. We all, I
Yes.
have to learn my truth. Chris
Mm-hmm.
has to learn his truth. We
Mm-hmm.
all have to learn our truth. And
Yeah.
if something does not resonate with your being, it's not for you and it's okay.
Yeah. And one of the things I would probably attribute to the success in our relationship, and this would be for anybody who's on the whole twin flame journey. One of the things that really led to our success in coming into a bond is that because we knew Jack Diddley squat about twin flames.
Just a little bit, not too
I
much. Just heard the terminology or whatever.
I because I mean I didn't hear the terminology
I did.
until
I heard Ralph mention it a time or two, but
yeah.
it didn't really start clicking until we started having these dreams and having these
Hmm.
synchronicities and having these kind of experiences,
Yes.
and then the soul sinking.
Yeah.
So it came, and I think the universe put it like that for a reason,
Right.
because sometimes before you get into a relationship or before you meet your twin flame, it
Hmm.
feels like there is this pressure
Mm.
to let your partner know that we are twin flames and we're destined to be together. And sometimes when you give somebody more information that they're ready for, it can make them run.
Right.
And if they're still asleep, then they're going to really run.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the thing that was so important about our relationship and our connection was that we had very little influence on someone telling us who we were.
Yes, we didn't have any
And
outside influence.
right. And we did a lot of the work ourselves
Internal.
prior to coming together. Once again, like if y'all have watched our videos in the past, you'll know that Leisha and I went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we used to meditate together. Remember
Hmm.
that time when we meditated
Oh yeah,
together?
we
And
still
I think
meditate together.
something in the beginning you were saying something was wrong with your throat,
Oh yeah.
with your
Well,
throat
my throat
chakra.
chakra
It was
it
blocked.
was blocked. It was like my throat chakra needed some Pepto Bismol or
Yeah.
something. But I mean now,
Yeah. Oh,
like I
now
I
it's like
speak
clear.
so freely,
Hmm.
and it's funny because I can speak so freely now because um if y'all remember our video about being unfuckwittable, you
Right.
get to a point where if you say what's on your mind,
Hmm.
it's just truth. And sometimes truth can be ugly and sometimes truth can be nice.
Right.
And it doesn't matter which way it is, as long as it's the truth, it's the truth.
And it's very freeing. It
Yes.
frees you, and you don't have that energy that stays inside of you and forms something else and causes
Hmm.
blockages. So it's good to speak your truth.
Nice class on finding life purpose.
Need class and
What we
finding
got?
life purpose.
Oh, we got my boy Ryan jumping in here. Okay, we see you, Ryan.
Go on, Ryan. See, that's why we love Ryan. You go on, Ryan. You
Yes,
handle
yes,
this.
yes. Yeah, my son seeing all these numbers and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ryan got you. Ryan got you.
Yes. So, and also while we're going through this video, if y'all have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment. I'm trying to watch them as they come through,
Right.
and like I said, boy, Ryan already jumping on a couple of
Ryan,
them.
he on it. He on it.
And for those of you all who are watching for the first time, once again, I would like to remind you to please subscribe. We would
Yes.
love to have you a part of our family. If you ever look through the comments on the videos, I mean, there are tons of we're always there helping, uh,
Active, very active.
yes, offering advice and everything.
Somebody said, don't know Ryan. Ryan is cool. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Ryan is a part of uh,
How you say
I,
so
I,
galactic
I
family?
would say Facebook family first,
Yeah, yeah.
but he is definitely a part of our soul family,
Right.
and he has done uh, tremendous help for us.
In the community.
And actually, Marshawn, since you mentioned that, just for everybody who's on here, we're actually going to start doing some new things on our channel as far as people like Ryan.
Oh yeah.
There's our friend Baz,
Oh, Baz.
and there's another Christopher who
Oh
who
yeah.
we're actually going
See,
to,
synchronicity.
yes. And what we're going to start doing, and sorry, Ryan, I hadn't told you this yet, but here we go.
It's okay.
We're going to start doing some interview style things with people who are already woke,
Right.
as far as their path and some things to help shed light for other people who are walking
Yes.
on this journey. Because as we stated a few videos back, right now it's time to transcend the whole twin flame thing. Even though twin flames are awesome and they're a beautiful thing,
Mm-hmm.
so many people are getting stuck
Yes.
on the twin flame thing.
Mm-hmm.
When in actuality, if you meet your twin in this reality or not, if y'all get into a relationship or not, the whole goal of coming in contact with your twin flame is for you to grow spiritually.
And ascend. That's the
If
purpose.
you wanted just a relationship and you're not trying to grow spiritually, find you a best friend, find you a soulmate,
Yep.
somebody that you can live with
And
harmoniously.
have kids and stuff and get the
Yeah.
picket fence house and stuff like that. But when you're asking for a twin flame, you're going to be doing some growing.
Yes. Yeah, you're gonna be doing some growing. And if you haven't done the work
Yeah.
before your twin flame comes, it's
Mm-hmm.
only going to intensify everything that you're feeling, every emotion that you're having,
Yes.
whether it's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And in actuality, once you start ascending consciously, you'll realize that none of those emotions are good or bad, they just are.
Right. They just are. And you're going to feel like you're running every which way but loose. So, so just might as
Yeah.
well just, do the work, do the integration.
Hmm.
Your do shadow work. Find aspects about yourself that you're not so happy about, things that you don't like about yourself. You have to learn to love those aspects of yourself because
Hmm.
when you come in contact with your twin, it's going to be right in front of your face.
Right.
And you're going to think that I can't stand this person, but you really can't stand the things that you didn't take care of within yourself because your twin is a mirror. They're going to reflect to you the
Hmm.
things that will push you to grow.
Right. Right. And just going back to
Explain the work.
okay. The work is actually a part of it is what we went over in our last live about removing blockages.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that we would consider work because you're going back through your now the one that we did was based on relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're constantly in relationships and they're not working, that's the time to step back and start analyzing like from your first relationship all the way up until your last relationship,
Right.
looking into your childhood experiences and who was a major influence during your childhood that would have influenced you into the patterns that you're in for your current relationships.
Right.
You want to search back and one of the other things to do if y'all are on YouTube, if you type in what is it, mirror work or what?
Shadow work by Teal
Oh
Swan.
yeah, Teal Swan. Shout out to Teal Swan.
She gets
That
down in it, like
now
deep in it.
unless y'all are ready to actually do some work, because believe me, Teal is very raw and uncut.
She don't play.
She does not play.
She gives it to
Uh,
people just like how it is. But sometimes we need that
but
wake up call though.
yeah, because she doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Nothing.
But if you are actually ready to start doing some work and you are sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Right.
definitely check out our girl
Teal
Till
Swan.
Swan,
She's really good.
and just type in shadow work Till Swan. She has this one exercise where you stare at yourself in the mirror,
Oh,
and we do this constantly because when you stare at yourself in the mirror, when you if you've actually standing in the mirror long enough and you looked at yourself, for whatever reason, you start to get this uneasy feeling,
very uneasy.
and that's a reason for that,
Mm-hmm.
because when you're looking into yourself in the mirror, you're looking at yourself in the eye,
Mm-hmm.
you're looking into your soul.
You're looking at you, your essence, not the
Yes.
avatar. You first time you're getting a glimpse of you, and
Hmm.
in the beginning it's gonna shake you, and depending on how long you've been ignoring yourself, you're gonna ignore you too.
Hmm.
So you come up against resistance. some resistance, but you have to
Yes.
keep at it. You have to keep being persistent. You might see
Mm-hmm.
your face change forms and stuff like that, but that's just to like push you away to deter you.
Yeah.
But Teal goes into the exercise very
Yes.
deep, and it's a long exercise, so make sure you have some time to do it.
Yes. Yes. Because, like I said, Alicia and I have done it plenty of times, and we just stood. Y'all could tell we're out of the matrix. We actually stood in front of the mirror for about 20, 30 minutes just
Yep.
staring at ourselves, just like this.
Yep. Getting to know us.
Like just connecting with ourselves. And this is
Mm-hmm.
something you can do in relationships that you're currently in.
Yep.
If y'all are on that level that you're comfortable enough that you can actually sit there and stare,
And just stare at each other.
you'll start discovering some stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, ma'am.
Some other things about shadow work is, let's see, start to figure out why you do certain things a certain way.
BS. Diving into the BS, the belief systems that you were taught as a kid. That's another part of shadow work, is
Yes.
finding out where these belief systems came from.
Mm-hmm.
How has it affected your current life?
Yes.
Do you even like these belief systems?
Mm-hmm.
Who implanted these belief systems and why are
Hmm.
they here?
Right.
How are they serving me? If they're serving me in a negative way, is it serving me in a positive way? And then you get to make the ultimate decision if you keep it or if you throw it out.
Yes. And and when it comes to shadow work, this is something that's difficult to do in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
So if you're not prepared to yourself, you can go out and you can find you a therapist to talk to, not somebody who's going to prescribe you medicine, because this is a spiritual journey.
Right.
There is no anxiety pill
Right.
that can help you get through this process. Now, if you're not able to find a good therapist, you can talk to somebody like Leisha and I.
Yeah. Or even Ryan, because
Yes.
Baz, like any one of us will be willing to help.
Yes. And we can help walk you through that process of reconnecting with yourself. Because once you reconnect with yourself, the universe will unfold right in front of you.
Right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, guys, we
See.
have all the necessary information that we need. It's just a matter of remembering, reconnecting.
Nice.
That's why if something doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you. Because the awakening is a remembering. It's a remembrance. That's what the awakening is about.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And for Marshawn, from the comments that you're putting down, it definitely sounds like you're on a path of really, like Leisha said, remembering who you are.
Hmm.
Because all of the answers that you are searching for are inside of you.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of raising your level of awareness,
Hmm.
which also activates certain parts of your DNA
Right.
that give you all the answers that you need.
Exactly. Your DNA strands.
Hmm.
Because the average person only gets, like when you're born, it's only 20 of those strands are activated, but we have
Hmm.
64 strands of DNA, and each DNA has a different code inside of it. So the more, like, you're being called to awaken. So
Yes.
the more you get to know yourself, it's the more that certain parts of your DNA will become activated,
Hmm.
provided that you have the right guidance and stuff like that.
Yes. And everything that we're talking about here, once again, goes into the topic that we're talking about, because I'm seeing a couple more people jumping in. And we're talking about transcending negativity or transcend negativity, because there's so many things that happen in our day-to-day lives that really throw us off track. And sometimes you have to take a step back and look at it from a different perspective to see how this is actually working for your good.
Right.
So,
Is it serving me? Is it not serving me? And if it's not serving you, you're an alchemist.
yes.
Transcend it. Make it serve you.
Yes.
It's a thing. You're human.
Yeah.
Make it work for you.
Yes.
And when you start making situations work for you, then you can just be like, Feels so good to be
You're
alive,
alive, baby.
baby.
Can I get a hello
Man, we
there?
look at too much Ralph.
Shout out to Ralph. Ralph Smart in the building.
But yeah,
He's
if you put
everywhere, nowhere.
right everywhere, nowhere at the same time, that's how you multiply yourself.
Oh boy. Oh
Yep.
boy. Yes, it is.
What did they say?
Okay. Yeah. Marshawn definitely.
Exactly. Yes, Jan. Yes. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" All you have to do is transcend it, and
Hmm.
you ask yourself, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of saying, "Why is this person treating me so bad?" Then you change your perception and you say, "What is this person here to teach me?" Because I tell you guys a little trick. When you change your words, because words are vibrations, right? So when you say, "Oh my God, why is life treating me like this? Why are they treating me like this?" That's of a low vibration, because
Hmm.
that's worry. Worry is a low vibration,
Yep.
and therefore it will put you at a lower frequency.
Hmm.
Now, if you change that around and you say, "What is this teaching me?" That's curiosity. That's courage, because you want to find out. And courage is of a much higher vibration than worry and fear. So now you change your vibration. And when you change your vibration, you change your frequency.
Hmm. Yes.
So that's what we mean by transcending. The
Yeah.
energies that's not serving you, you change your perception. When you change your perception to something that's of a higher vibrational state, you will change your frequency.
Yep.
And then that's raising your awareness by raising your consciousness. And now the answers are starting to come in, because now you're a vibrational match for the answers.
Yeah. And actually, you you were talking about something earlier, which I think is a really good way to break it down. And and this is an example of raising your vibrations from a lower vibrations to a higher vibration. And you mentioned about, instead of reacting to a situation, you
Respond,
respond.
yes,
You
because you
want to
give
dive in?
yourself more options.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I made a post about this. So instead of reacting to a situation, it's better to respond.
Hmm.
And the reason why you want to respond and not react is that when you react to a situation, you're not giving yourself any options. You're
Hmm.
just going with the first thing, the first thought. And thoughts are like clouds, they come and they go.
Hmm.
So the first cloud that comes, you pick it, and then boom, you have no options. And you might make a bad decision, or not really bad or good, but you might make a decision that's not necessarily serving you.
Yes.
Now, when you respond, you actually give yourself time to think about it. So
Hmm.
when you're thinking about it, that means you're giving yourself more thoughts to look at, which are more clouds. So you give room for three more clouds to come in, which are three more
Hmm.
thoughts. And maybe one of those, maybe somebody punch you in the face, right? And so instead of punching them right back, that's a reaction.
Yep.
And you got a cop over there. You got two cops over there. You're already not supposed to be in the neighborhood.
You're supposed to be in the neighborhood.
You already in the wrong neighborhood, right? Somebody punch you,
Oh boy.
and so you punch him back. So you already know you have no options in that. You pick the first clap.
Hmm.
Now, let's say somebody punch you in the face.
Mm.
Again, you're in the wrong neighborhood. So the first cloud comes in, punch him back. You're like, nah, let me wait for the next cloud. Okay, so the next cloud says, walk away and just leave. This is not the
Hmm.
time for this. You have a next cloud that come. Just there's cops over there. Maybe you can go over there and talk to the cops.
Yep.
A next cloud come. Call your brother. Let your brother do it. You can go home. I'm just saying,
Yeah. Call your brother. Tell him license plate
Tyrone.
XYL. Oh, I
call,
got
call
you,
call your
bro.
sister, somebody, right? But I'm just saying you're giving yourself options. So that's why it's better
Hmm.
to respond to a situation than to just react. Because
Right.
with reactions, you have consequences that you have to
Yes.
deal with.
Yes. Because and and I think one other way to really put this, because this is something that a lot of people really need to grasp. Because when you're reacting to a situation, you're going off your impulse, you're limiting the possibilities to only one possibility. And in this world, in this realm, in this universe, there are infinite possibilities, and
Yes.
you're limiting yourself to only one.
Exactly. And
Yes.
Jan just made a very good point. She said the longer you stay in a lower vibrational state, the more you will experience things with which is within that frequency, that realm, which is
Hmm.
true. because you're at a vibrational match. Like when you're having a bad day, when you're feeling down, it's, everybody gets in a certain situation, and it's fine to feel a certain way because you don't want to ignore these emotions. But I think the trick is not to stay there for too long,
Right.
because then you start spiraling down,
Yes.
and then you eventually you will attract what you are. And this
Mm.
is just universal law. This is not even something we making up.
No.
It just is. So I mean, if you know you can't really handle what you are by spiraling down, you have to
Yes.
find a way to transcend that and find a way to start spiraling back up, so that you'll be a vibrational match to what you actually needing
Yes.
at that time.
Yes. And I know that that bass suck for somebody who just heard that, and I just had that feeling that came through. You only get what you are. I'm gonna say that again. You only attract what you are.
Yeah.
So if you are a person that's full of love, that's full of compassion, you're going to receive that back. The universe is just a mirror. It's going to show you who you are, and you will see it in your outer world.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the stories that we tell ourselves most of the time contradict what the universe is actually saying. So
Yeah.
you have to be real with yourself. If you're in a situation where you know that
That's
you're
right, Jan.
that you're not making the money that you want to make, and you just feel like, oh, you should be promoted at your job. But if you actually take a look and see your activity at work,
Mm-hmm.
where you're 15 minutes late for work, you got a 30-minute break, you take an hour break, you're not hitting your numbers like you should.
Yeah.
You have to be real with yourself, because if you want excellence, you have to be excellent.
Yeah.
If you want a lover that's going to love you unconditionally, you have to first love yourself unconditionally and love everybody else unconditionally.
Because you're not really able to, if you can't give something to yourself, you're not going to be able to give it to somebody else. So
No.
if you don't have unconditional love for yourself, you're not going to be able to give it to the next person.
Hmm.
So that's why self-love is key. Self-love is very, very important, and you have to be realistic.
Hmm.
You got to be realistic.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean,
It's like this glass right here. Okay. Like you got this glass. It's got halfway full of water. Now this is my glass, and if Alicia wanted some water, like I could give her some
because
water
it's water in the cup.
because there's water in the cup. But if this cup is empty and there's no water in here, how can I give her water?
You got to fill your cup first.
And that's the other thing. Some people have this cup halfway full, and they know that they thirsty, but they giving it to somebody else.
Right, right, right. And that's not being authentic.
No.
That's not being authentic. Then you're not going to like the person because you feel like they made you give them some water. And that's getting stuck in the
Hmm.
blame game right there.
I mean, it's just real because there's so many things that we can do to transcend negativity. You can transmute that thing.
Right. Transcend it. Transcend it.
Yep.
How do you start getting rid of resistance within yourself? That resistance within yourself
Mm.
is something that you're not addressing. It's a blockage. Something is blocking you.
Right.
So you might have to do some soul work,
Mm-hmm.
going back to see
It's
where it
making all the
started from,
screen
because
vibrate.
these resistance, they have an origin. They start from
Yes.
someplace. It could be like Ryan says, it could be you haven't forgiven somebody yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to release that, because sometimes we think that we forgive somebody, but when you go back and you think about that person, your heart start racing. You
Mm.
start sweating, things start going on. So you have to really be true to yourself,
Yes.
and find out where that resistance, that takes self-work.
Yes.
Like you have to dig deep within yourself.
Yeah.
Go back into your childhood
Mm-hmm.
and see what aspects of your childhood that you haven't really handled is manifesting into your adult life. Like with me, in my childhood, I was molested in my childhood, and
Mm-hmm.
so it manifested itself in different ways in my adulthood. And I didn't realize that until I started really diving into my childhood. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh wow, look how this has controlled my adult life when I thought that
Yep.
I had ignored it.
Right.
or I had put it away, or I had dealt with it, but I really never dealt
Hmm.
with it.
Yeah. And whenever there's any type of resistance, sometimes it requires surrender.
Yes.
That's it's just like what we were talking about earlier, when life wants you to grow, but you're just fighting life for the growth.
Yeah.
It's going to make it more painful, and you're going to experience a lot more heartache.
Exactly.
But if you stop and you talk with life and say, "Hey, which way do I need to go?" Then they're like, gently, "Oh, you need to go so and so where. You need to go this way." Instead of them grabbing you by your arm or
Hmm.
grabbing you by your throat in some situations,
Right.
and them putting you where you need to go. It
Well,
takes some time to just get into that.
Marshawn said, "How did it manifest?" Well, for an example, for me, it
Hmm.
manifested itself in I didn't for a while. I had trust issues, so I
Hmm.
didn't trust a lot of people,
Yes.
and because I didn't trust the people that were in my household at the time because of what happened to me.
Hmm.
So I thought by ignoring it or by pretending it didn't happen, then I would be okay. But then it planted a seed of untrust in me.
Yes.
And then I was walking around just like, oh, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Nah, I don't
Hmm.
trust you. And I missed out on a lot of good relationships because of the fact that I didn't trust people. That's what I mean when I say it would manifest itself in different ways in your life, from things
Hmm.
that happen in your childhood, or even things that happen within certain relationships. Like you might get maybe your previous relationship, you were abused by your ex. Now
Hmm.
you get into this new relationship, and the person might be trying to come and hug you or whatever, or run to you with excitement, and you fringe like this because you
Hmm.
think they're about to punch you
Right.
because you haven't really accepted what happened in the previous relationship before you jumped into this relationship.
Yep.
Could be anything. Things manifest themselves in different ways. Different
Yep.
traumas will show up again until you
Yes.
have sit with it and really dealt with it and
Right.
accept it for what it is and understand that, hey, you know what, trauma, I love you because I had to go through you to get to me.
Mm. You can say that one more
And
time.
if I didn't have you, trauma, I won't be this strong.
Mm.
So I appreciate you and I love you and I accept you, and I'm not ashamed of you, because again, shame is a very low vibration, one of the lowest. Listen, I found
Yes.
out that anger was of a higher vibration than shame.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because at least when you're angry, you're being authentic. Like, I'm mad. I'm get out of my face. You're being real. But it's
Yeah.
still not a high vibration. But shame is an extremely low vibration.
Yes. And you know what, baby? You said something earlier while we were talking about how at certain points in your life, say for example, you're a bird, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got these shackles on your feet,
Oh, my
right?
shackle story.
Yeah, you got the shackles on your feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in some situations, if a bird has shackles on their feet, they're just gonna give up and they're not gonna even try to fly. They're just gonna stay grounded. Now, but that's not the nature of the bird. That's not the bird's full potential.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are birds that will take those shackles and they will use those shackles to improve their strength to the point where they can still fly even though they have shackles on them. And the funny thing is once they get strong enough and they get able to fly high enough, those shackles will just fall off and they're able to zoom and go wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
So it's it's a matter once again transcending the negativity. Even
Mm-hmm.
though you had those shackles on you, you wouldn't be as strong as you are and be able to fly as high and as long as you can fly if you didn't have those shackles.
Exactly. So thank those shackles.
Yeah.
Thank that trauma. Thank whatever it is that you had to battle with, that you had to fight with in
Hmm.
your life, because it made you who you are today or who you're going to be tomorrow.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you just have to find a way to be grateful for the things that you have not dealt with or you don't want to deal with. Because, yeah, like Ryan said, life is a spiritual lesson. We're all here to learn something. And if we're not learning what is being presented to us, we're going to keep repeating it over and over and over and over again until we
Hmm.
get it.
Yeah, that's exactly what Janelle said. You're gonna keep repeating those lessons until
You're going to
you
keep
learn
doing,
it.
what is it, boyfriend 101
Hmm.
or domestic violence 101. or whatever 101 until
Yeah.
you understand to pretty much whatever lesson is teaching you, whether it's to love yourself, forgiveness,
Hmm.
acceptance, surrender, whatever lesson that you're supposed to learn from a particular person, a particular situation. If
Hmm.
you don't, if the light bulb don't go off, like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to set boundaries. Oh, okay, I need to love myself and respect myself, because when I
Hmm.
love myself and respect myself, then
Then
I'm
that's the one
actually
on one.
showing Jack or Jill what to
Hmm.
do or how to treat me.
Right.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep. There you go.
So the next
There you go.
relationship that you get into, or the next person that you encounter, now you know where you end and where they begin,
Yep.
instead of allowing that infiltration constantly.
Hmm.
It's called respect, self love.
Yes. Yes. And this is one other thing that just came to me. You know, when people get stuck
Yep.
in patterns, it's pretty much the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting to have different results.
Right.
That's not the way it works, boo boo.
No.
No.
Yep. You have to have courage,
Yes.
love. That's right, Ryan. You have to let them dead leaves fall off. Let
Yes.
it go. If the universe is trying to take something away from you, let the universe take it. Plenty of
Yes.
signs are coming to you. If it was meant to be in your life, it would be in your life, and you would see yourself growing.
Mm.
You will see
Yes.
yourself flourishing. If it's really meant to be there for long term, for longevity, the things that
Hmm.
are meant to be in your life for long term, you are growing constantly and frequently with these things.
Yes.
But the ones
Yes.
that are just here for a season to teach you a lesson, you will see a lot of resistance and a lot of friction, but it comes with a lesson. So it's not all negative,
Hmm.
because it's a lesson wrapped up in that box of you know what.
Yes.
So grab the
Oh boy.
lesson and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Fear of unlearning failed teachings to learn how to
Truly
truly
live.
live and be prosperous in all areas of life.
Yes.
Fear is a low vibration. Fear is a very, 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 very low vibration.
Hmm.
When you realize how low the vibration of fear is, very thick and it's very dense.
You know, it's funny. We saw a meme earlier today that said you're not truly living life if you're afraid to go to hell.
Ooh,
Uh,
ooh.
because fear will cause you to not live your best life.
Mm.
Uh, sometimes you got to go out on that edge.
Hmm.
Sometimes you got to jump.
And grow wings while you're going down. Like, don't let fear stop you from living your best life.
No,
If
no,
you
no,
want to
no.
go ahead and start a business, start your business.
Yes.
If that's your passion, live your passion, because it will give you longer, more fulfilling life.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is your passion, whatever you're here to do, whatever your purpose is, find out what your purpose is and live your purpose. You would have a
Yes.
very, very fulfilling life. Did we talk about the girl that we met who was working at we went to have breakfast one day, and we met this beautiful
Oh
young lady.
yeah. No,
She
we never
used to
talked about
be
her.
she used to be working at, where did she say she worked?
She
At a
worked at the
hospital.
hospital.
She had a
Yeah.
good job at the hospital. Very good job, but
Hmm.
she got paid good money, she said, but she had to be working with sick people all day long. She said the
Mm.
vibration in there was killing her, even though she
Yes.
was making good money. And she said she left that job to be a waitress. She's getting less money, but she said she is so fulfilled and she is so happy she don't want to be any other place.
No.
And people will look at her like she's crazy, but she's not crazy. She's happy. And she's living her best life being a waitress.
Yes.
She says she gets to meet people all day, every day. She interacts with so many different people. And that's what she loves.
Yes. And yes, Janelle, so many people would be happy if they trusted their intuition. And one way to really get in connection with your intuition is you, is your higher self.
Hmm.
And a way to get in contact with your higher self is doing that shadow work, is doing that mirror work, is looking at your habits and
Right.
seeing if they were actually something that served you. When you start paying attention to yourself, your intuition will give you all the
Mm.
answers you need.
Ryan, you better say this.
What'd he
Look
say?
what Ryan said. You will never wake up to your future if you keep sleeping with your past.
Oh,
We hold on.
I wish I could screenshot that
We
right
gotta
now. I
we gotta
can't.
put a break on that one. Ryan, that is gems.
Yes.
That is gems.
Yes. Who?
We have to pause on that one. And that's facts.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's so funny because when you're holding on to stuff that's not supposed to be in your life, like right now you may be in a bad relationship, and that bad relationship is stopping you from getting in contact with your true love, whether that's a soulmate or a twin flame.
Yep.
A lot of people are afraid to leave their jobs because they they're just scared. They think they won't be able to survive. I mean, Leisha and I have left our jobs, and
It's crazy.
if y'all looked at our situation, y'all would be like, "What the hell is wrong with
They
y'all?"
crazy.
But like, we ended up getting an apartment together, and a month later, we said, "Fuck this, we ain't working for y'all. We working for ourselves." That was in May. We left. We still got house, still got the lights.
Yep.
Fear did not stop us, and we're
Yep.
continuing to grow. I
And
mean,
it's
y'all
still
see
not.
it.
It's not gonna stop us because we in our calling.
Hmm.
We are doing what we love doing, which is helping people grow
Yes.
spiritually. Like it really fills us up with so much joy when we speak to people and they tell
Hmm.
us that they're doing so much better, or that they're
Hmm.
growing, or that our information really helped them. So I mean, hey, we're happy because we're doing what we here to do.
Yes, Marshawn, yes. I am my true love.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and it is funny because it took me 3 decades to figure that out.
Wow.
And this is something that I mentioned in the video that we did about removing blockages,
Mm-hmm.
is that I went through my entire life searching for love, searching for
Mm.
money, but I never took the time to search for myself. And once I took the time to really search for myself, then I fell in love with myself,
Yes, he did.
and everything just started
You
coming
you
together.
can't tell him nothing. And I
No.
was I was the opposite.
Hmm.
I was running. I was running from myself.
Yes.
And then I realized that my whole life I've been running from myself.
Hmm.
And then when I stopped running from myself, then I fell in love with myself.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Some deep
Oh
stuff
boy.
right there.
Yeah. Now we're past our 1 hour mark. I actually planned on doing this for like 30 minutes
I
because
know.
we've been up early,
We had a
taking
lot.
kids out to school, dentist
Mailing crystals
appointments,
to Australia.
sending off packages. And shout out to everybody who's on the thirdeyeapparel.com,
Right.
buying shirts, buying crystals,
Thank you
getting the yoni
guys.
cleanses
Thank you
for the
guys so much.
ladies. Thank y'all so much. And for anybody else who's watching this channel, and if the information that we're providing to you all is helpful, uh, please drop a donation. Um,
We were really appreciated.
we would definitely appreciate it because that helps in growing this channel,
Right.
which we are actually less than 300 hours away from being uh,
What's the word we're looking for?
monetized on here. But once again, if the information has been helpful and y'all want to help out in our journey, there's a link in the description down below where you can click on to donate. It
Right.
should be one of the first links, and whatever amount that you all decide to donate, it
Yes.
is helpful.
And we'll be grateful. And
Yes.
Marshawn, we actually do have a group, and it's on Facebook. And if anybody would like to join,
Yes.
you can join. It's called the Spiritual Awakening.
Yes.
So that's the Spiritual Awakening. And
Hmm.
also, yep, you can join Ryan's group. Also, it's tons and tons of support there.
Yes.
Unconditional self love for twin flames. Yeah, he just put it in the
Yes.
comments. So unconditional self love, twin flame community.
Yes.
Very, very, very supportive group. Lots and lots of support.
Hmm.
Either one or both. So we are
Yes.
very active on those groups.
Yes. You
And
can
if you
definitely
want, you
catch
can
us.
follow us on Instagram
Yeah. And
also.
that's twin flame underscore unite on Instagram and Twitter. Uh, and they should be in the description down below as well as following us on our social media.
Yeah.
So y'all can find us. We try to plant seeds everywhere because you can find us on Discord. You
Oh
can
yeah.
find us on Twitter,
Patreon.
Facebook,
We have a Patreon.
Patreon. We try to be as accessible as possible
Yes.
because we know that people that are waking up are scattered all over the world.
Right.
There's not
Everywhere.
a particular cluster, but recently, uh,
Australia.
yeah, Australia definitely.
Yeah.
But recently, I'm starting to notice a trend that there are a lot of people waking up that are in our local area, and that was pretty
Yes. That
surprising
was like a
because
what?
we live in Alabama,
Right.
the
It's nobody
in
woke
the
here.
Bible Belt,
Hey, in the BB. BB.
and it is surprising the number of people that we are coming in contact with that are all probably, excuse me, that are either already awoke or just waking up, and that's all because we're reaching that cusp or
Hmm.
that edge where pretty much everybody's going to wake up,
Yeah.
and it's so important for and this is one of the reasons why it's so important to transcend the negativity,
Yes.
because when you transcend the negativity, you're going to come in contact with other people who are just waking up, and they ain't going to know what the hell to do, and they going to be looking for somebody, and you can be that lighthouse for them.
Right. You could be there to help them and
Yeah.
guide them because everybody going eventually we have different alarms set to wake up.
Hmm.
And eventually for those who still sleeping, snoring, they're gonna have to wake up because Sky already transcended to 5D, so it's pushing everybody to
Yes.
wake up because the vibrations is different, the frequency is different.
Yes, because we have a lot more knowledge that we wanted to share, but we don't want to sound too crazy to y'all. So, because when you start to really awaken, you come into your full awareness, certain gifts are going to start coming through.
Yes.
And for the people, if you're at that point where you're like clairaudient or clairvoyant
Clairsentience or whatever it
or
may
you're
be.
being a healer like Marshawn,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're able to channel and stuff like that, that's a whole nother level.
That's a whole nother
But
level.
and if you do have those abilities, please reach out to us, because if you don't have that support that you need, we would most definitely
We're right here.
be honored to be that support for you. And once again, it's that's why it's so important to do your work, because there's going to be somebody else that's coming behind you who's actually going to be looking at you for
Mm-hmm.
help.
For guidance, to be that lighthouse. Shine your light so they can walk in the path. That don't mean you walk their path for them. It means you take your light and shine it in the path so they can see.
Hmm.
That's what it
Yeah,
means.
yeah. So we're here, y'all. Um, we love y'all, and we got to get some rest because we
Yeah, we
got to
gotta
get
sleep.
these.
Look at our eyes. Y'all probably think we high or something.
No, we
we
just a
we
little
just high off
sleepy.
life and we tired.
Well, we got to get out of here, y'all. We love
We love
y'all,
y'all
and we
so much.
appreciate y'all so much.
Keep growing, guys.
Yes.
One love, one consciousness. Peace.